Got to turn the mic on first. Guys, welcome to the live. We are now officially live on YouTube, Instagram. Everything's looking good. My sound's looking good. And away we go. Let's do this.
Does not. Putin wants to keep going. And
that's because over 20 times he let them cross a red line. And the Russian hardliners said, "You're out if you do." I mean, Putin has a gun to his head,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I mean, and they're like, the Russians are like, "You pushed up to us. It's so that you got hypersonic missiles. Every time we work with you, you screw us." And that's why they're finally like, "Okay." It's like when somebody punches you in the face, you're like, "All right, you want to get in a fight? Let's go."
Well, and that's the problem when you're in World War III is you lose control of the ladder of escalation.
Yeah.
And you can't trust the other side. There's no rapport. There's no diplomatic communication. And so eventually you get forced into reciprocal responses. Russia has to keep going. America has to keep ratcheting it up to try to deter them. And so it really takes kind of an extraordinary will to break that cycle. So that's the trap we're in.
And you've been a big critic of Trump, big supporter early on. Obviously, don't support the Democrats, but you've given me some credit, on the border, trying to accelerate things. But overall, I think he doesn't want war. And where would we be if Kamala was in?
I totally agree. I think that it would be because look at what Biden did right before Trump got into office. He started to greenlight strikes inside Russia by Ukraine further and further into Russian territory. The Ukrainians had that outpost in Kursk in Russia where they had actually invaded Russian soil. So no doubt about it, the Democrats, if they were in charge, we might be in a hot war with Russia already. So I agree with you that Trump on a gut level is anti-war, does not want World War III. I think he definitely doesn't want war with Russia. And he's made a real overture towards Putin ever since getting into office to that end, trying to pull us back from the brink.
But Putin has said Trump doesn't really run the national security system. So the real national security system in NATO isn't even, Trump has come halfway, but when Trump goes to NATO, they don't agree to the half Trump's offering. So that's why Putin goes, it's not being offered. He goes, we can't move on this if you aren't moving.
Right.
What's up, bro? What up, Random?
It's really a four-way diplomacy.
So I want to jump into this, but I think before we get there, let's kind of get warmed up with Jesse, bro.
Speak English. I have a cleft lip and all that, so my palate, it's all from God. I don't understand it either.
How did you get that job is my point.
God.
I'm older than you, Jesse. I'm 71 years old. I'm older than you, and I live I'm retired, and I live better than you.
And you're still angry, insecure.
No, I'm not
emotional.
angry. I just want you to know, how did you get a job? And you can't. Your vocabulary is horrible.
But it's not so bad that it didn't get your attention and made you call in.
I don't understand how people listen, can hear you, man, can understand you.
The same way you are.
That's amazing.
You should be grateful that white people founded and created the greatest country on this side of heaven so that you would not be stuck in Africa or somewhere.
Well, so I wouldn't be stuck in Africa.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? you can conclude yourself in that, Jesse.
Well, I am grateful. That's why I started and founded White History Month, because I'm grateful.
Well,
are you grateful?
White folks didn't start it.
No, I started it. Why aren't you fit to be a father?
I believe that I'm a little bit too selfish to be a father.
Oh, so you're a beta male, huh?
A beta male, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That was a question.
Oh, a beta male? That's
Are you a beta male?
Like when you're cooning for the white man, does it really feel like you're like actually making any sort of statement? You said cooning for the white man? Yes. Are you white or black? I'm a white man. You definitely blame black people for pretty much.
What's up, Steve? Just started it up, bro. Just got it started.
Everything that's wrong with them, but you ignore all the systemic problems that do clearly exist with police brutality and things of that nature.
There is no police brutality. Because your father is Satan, all you're doing, and then your
Satan is your daddy,
and
woman.
lack of respect for black people, woman. All you're doing is helping them stay in their hellhole by making excuses for them, because secretly in your heart, that you want them in that condition so that You can feel sorry for them. You can use them and all that because you don't love black people. If you loved black people,
Sure.
you would not make up excuses for them. You would be honest
Sure.
with them and hope that they will overcome. You don't love black
Sure.
people. You're a hypocrite.
No, sir. You just said that my father was Satan.
Yes.
Do you understand how disrespectful that is?
No, it's the truth.
I've been very respectful to you.
And you said that I was
Satan is
cooning.
not my father.
When you said that I was cooning for the white man, was that respecting me?
Well, you are. I mean,
So are you
that's
respecting me when you say that?
not, well, you know, I have no meaning to.
Were you respecting me when you said that? Give me a yes or no.
No.
I didn't think
Because I
so.
don't-
So you being a
I didn't think so.
Really? Really?
I didn't believe you deserved the respect because I think you're
So,
kind of a piece of
and
shit.
so when I say Satan is your father, do you think I believe you deserve respect?
No, but Satan is not my father. And I
He
don't think
is. Satan is your father. You're a weak man. You're not worthy of children according to you. And the reason you're weak because Satan is your daddy. If Satan wasn't your daddy, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Satan is your daddy, woman. Satan is your daddy, woman. If Satan wasn't your daddy, you wouldn't be a weak beta male.
Yeah, but what do you mean by beta male?
A beta male is a male who look like a man but think like a woman.
Damn, bro. He just laid it out for him. I love it.
And
Okay.
that's you. I have with me, and that's
Okay.
you. And, a beta male is a male who look like a man but think like a woman.
Yeah, but what do you mean by beta?
Who look like a beta male is a male who look like a man but think like a woman. And
Okay.
that's
You know I'm saving that.
I have
know I'm
with me
saving it.
Benjamin Dixon. Benjamin is the founder of the Progressive Army and host of the Benjamin Dixon Show. And I want to talk to Benjamin about President Trump, the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, how he failed this country so desperately. Your first of all, your impression of the Great White Hope.
Haha or he says, wait, but don't women think the same as us? If you're a beta, maybe.
Beta. This is
If
the
you're a beta,
first
bro.
year of him being elected. How would you rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being
Beta male.
beta male? Best. Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
10 being the best. I mean, for your audience, I'm sure your audience was going to say that Donald Trump is a 15, right? But in reality, in every measurable sense, he's a 1, a negative. If we could give a negative rating, he's going to go down as the worst president in the history of this country and the most incompetent and the most laughable president that we've ever had. He's an embarrassment. He's a stain.
You know, I didn't ask you about Obama. I'm talking about. I'm talking.
You're talking about your great white hope,
Right.
your great white messiah.
He got him, bro. He got him, dude. Hold on. Damn, I missed this one.
Show, and I want to talk to Benjamin
What's up,
about
Sayline?
President Trump,
Here we
the
go.
fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, how he failed this country so desperately. Your first of all, your impression.
If you're not able to understand what Jesse means by women think, you think like a woman versus thinking like a man, then you are also a beta male.
Beta male. Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male. Of the Great White Hope. This is the
What the
first year of him being elected. How would you rate him? He failed this country. The fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, how he failed this country so desperately. Your first of all, your impression of the Great White Hope. This is the first year of him being elected. How would you rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best?
10 being the best. I mean, for your audience, I'm sure your audience was going to say that Donald Trump is a 15, right? But in reality, in every measurable sense, he's a 1, a negative. If we could give a negative rating, he's going to go down as the worst president in the history of this country, and the most incompetent and the most laughable president that we've ever had. He's an embarrassment. He's a stain.
You know, I didn't ask you about Obama. I'm talking about. I'm talking.
You're talking about your great white hope,
right.
your great white messiah, Donald Trump.
Right. You
right.
gave me.
Because Jesse, because how do you
gave me Obama? I didn't ask about Obama.
You're a man of God, right? You're Reverend Jesse Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So how can you honestly sit here and say to your audience with a straight face that you think Donald Trump is a great president? He's an embarrassment. How do you look at what he does?
An embarrassment? How
he's an he has a speaking ability of, I mean, just he can't string together a coherent sentence to save his life, right? So he's
Benjamin, yeah. Calm down. How number one?
You asked me a question and I'm answering.
How is he an embarrassment?
How is he? The better question would be, how is he not?
No. How is he an embarrassment?
Not an embarrassment.
That's not an answer.
Look at how he. Okay, let's go. How much time do I have to give this specific
Give me a
answer?
quick.
He says estrogen actually boosts cognitive ability, and he is wondering, don't men and women think the same? No, they don't. No, they don't, sir, or ma'am, or they, them, or I don't know, bro, but no, they don't. They don't think the same. There's a very big difference in the way they think.
Answer.
What's up, Ruby?
How is he an embarrassment? What has he done to embarrass the country?
Wotan, what's up, dude? Someone explain to he's trying to have us read articles, bro.
He is in a.
If you need to read an article to know the difference between the way a man and a woman thinks, then you are a beta male. Come on, bro. Don't be an alpha
man. Be a alpha male.
Not a beta male.
Embarrassment on domestic policy
in what way?
In every sense of the way.
No, that's not an answer.
It's
in
like
what
asking,
way?
how's he okay, I'm going to do it from your perspective. How is he not an embarrassment when he couldn't even he has the House, he has the Senate, and he has the White House. He can't even repeal Obamacare that you guys have been trying to do for the last 8 years. That should be an embarrassment to you. It's an embarrassment that he's trying to repeal and get 30 million people off of health care. That should be an embarrassment.
You're not answering the question.
I'm answering your question. He should be an embarrassment to you. Here's number 2. Why he should be an embarrassment to you? Number 2 is because he can't get tax breaks through. This is like the crown jewel of Republicanism, and Republicans are coming out in mass against a bill that should be a slam dunk for him. So from your vantage point, how is he not an embarrassment?
You realize you didn't give us anything, right? You're just throwing out words. But President Trump is dealing with rhino Republicans who don't want him there. They don't want to do anything for the country. And in spite of that, he's still moving the country forward when it comes to dealing with the taxes. He now has made a way has been made.
What's up, Tamara? What's up, Andrew? Andrew says, boys lose connection between the left and right hemisphere of the brain. So men think with left or right. Okay. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that, but in a general sense, there's a difference between the way men and women think. And we'll let you guys work on that a little bit in the chat before I jump in a little further. But if you have to ask if there's a difference between the way men and women think, then you, sir, may be a beta male.
So that he can take the taxes to the next level. He have put a conservative judge on the Supreme Court.
He in the chat says, do you think that women think worse? No, differently. Not worse, different.
He's brought back jobs already, and he's made a way where companies.
Thank you, Steve.
That left.
And Steve also says men and women have innate differences that impacts the way their brains are wired. Men protect, women foster. That makes sense to me.
This country, because of restrictions and regulations and high taxes, are now coming back.
talking about the jail in Indiana?
The unemployment filing have gone down under the president. Are those the embarrassing things that you're talking about?
When did Barack Obama's budget end?
No, that's
when
not
did
the
fiscal
question.
year for Barack Obama end?
Are those the embarrassing?
He says, but in the modern world, that's not true anymore. Yes, if you take into account the way the feminist movement is trying to make men into beta males, you kind of correct in that.
Some things that you're.
But for those of us that are still not bought into the feminist beta bullshit, no, sir, there's a stark difference between the way men and women think.
Talking about.
Well, when did Barack Obama's fiscal year end? When is
You're
Donald
not
Trump's
answering the
economy?
question.
When does Donald Trump's economy take place into full effect?
Are those the embarrassing things that you're talking about? There was,
Yeah.
I don't know what state this was in or what this person was running for, but two transgenders won. One Democratic male pretended to be a woman beat a Republican who was against men going into women's bathroom. Are you for transgenders running for offices in our country?
Why would we not be? Why should they not be able to run for office in the United States?
No, I'm
Answer that.
asking you, are you for that?
Clearly,
are
I'm
you in
for-
support of transgenders running for office?
Clearly. So let me answer this two ways. One, yes. Two, I'm in favor for anyone and everyone who's a citizen of the United States to run for office. Why would you not be? Why should they be relegated to not being able to hold office in the United States of America?
Just as in the military, if a man or
That's
woman
a good
is
question. What is a woman?
confused about his or her gender.
Let's start there because it looks like we got to go down to the basics with you on this. So do you know what a woman is?
That says that they're not stable enough to run
See,
the
Jesse,
country. You were quoted as saying Jesus was a socialist.
Absolutely.
And I'm just following his lead.
Absolutely.
As a Christian, you believe that Jesus was a socialist?
As a Christian, do you believe Jesus was a capitalist?
Answer that question, Benjamin.
Particularly, I mean, see, I guess you don't understand that simple principle. Yeah.
No, you got to answer the question first because we got to go to the basics for you, bro. Define for us. Let us know in the chat. What is a woman?
Yes, of course, Christ. I mean, honestly, you can't pigeonhole the kingdom of God economic system, and what Republicans and conservatives like yourself have done for an entire generation is try to make
You're
it
not
seamless
answering
conflation.
that question either.
I actually am answering your question.
You're
I'm answering
rambling
your question.
on
It's
about
really,
nothing.
It's really that.
Why
Jesse,
do you
it's really
believe
that you don't
that
have
Jesus?
the comfort. You
What
can't,
was it
you
about?
can't-
Was
you
about
can't
Jesus?
answer-
What
about
about
Jesus makes him a
that made
capitalist?
you think that he was a socialist?
What about Jesus makes him a capitalist
I
to you?
didn't
Because
say
clearly
he
you
was
believe
a
he's
capitalist either. I
You
never said
believe
that.
he is.
I never said
You
that.
Clearly, do you? Okay, so do
I
you
never
believe he's a
said
capitalist?
that, and that's not
Do you
my
believe he's a
belief.
Yeah.
But
What's your belief? What is the kingdom of God economic system?
You're running away from the question again.
What is the king? No, the real core question is.
A woman.
What is a woman?
A woman is it's a combination of your physical attributes and then what you're showing to the world and the gender clues that you give. And hopefully those match your gender identity.
The critics on the other side of this, of this issue.
There aren't many, but go ahead.
There aren't many who would disagree with what you're saying about.
Well, the dinosaurs of the world are certainly out there.
But what is a woman?
A woman is it's a combination of your physical attributes and then what you're showing to the world and the gender clues that you give. And hopefully those match your gender identity.
The critics on the other side of this.
W. Angela Ashkins in the chat, who says a woman is an adult, a human being with XX chromosomes. That wasn't too hard, was it? That's what a woman is.
Of this issue.
There aren't many, but go ahead.
There aren't many who would disagree with what you're saying about.
Well, you know, the dinosaurs of the world are certainly out there.
What is a woman?
A woman is a
Hang on, hang
it's
on.
a combination of.
What is a woman?
Hang on.
What is it? That's a stupid
attributes.
question, dude. That's a dumb question.
What is a woman? It's not a is a woman.
What is it? That's a stupid question, dude. That's a dumb question.
What is a woman? It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Who identifies as a woman?
You can't answer the question with the question.
Who identifies as a woman?
Yeah, define the woman without saying woman.
It's a social defined by people. Does it even
You're in college, paying for an education. What is a woman?
What is a woman? Media training. How about you talk to someone?
You don't need media training. It's not a trick. What is a woman?
Who identifies as a woman?
You can't answer the question with the...
What are you talking about?
It's the college kids of America going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt who think it's a trick question when you ask them what a woman is. What is a woman?
What is it? That's a
Your definition is that a woman is someone who is.
What is a woman? It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Who identifies as
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
This is he in the chat.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
That.
What do you want me to say? This is.
I want you to say that a woman like me is an adult human female, that men can't become women. You guys are the party of violence, and you're the party erasing women. You don't respect us. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. You're a sexist. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Congresswoman.
Good lady,
Mr.
back.
Chairman, I would ask
Mr.
unanimous consent.
Ocasio-Cortez from New York.
All right, well, that was some kind of bingo going on over there. I don't know what's going on. Anyways.
Yep. That's what we're up against, guys.
I'm transgender. I'm born and raised here in New Mexico. I have a graduate degree in information technology, marketing, business, and finance. I own my own home. I pay taxes. I have a 6-figure job. I'm a respected professional in Albuquerque. I'm a mother. My life experience is that I'm an awesome person. I am well-liked. I'm responsible, and I think I'm pretty cool. You touched on something. You said something earlier that for you, when somebody calls you a man, it doesn't faze you because, like, you just know that you're a man. That was interesting to me because I feel the same way about my identity as a woman. My question leading up to this, you've asserted that no one would ever see me as a woman, that nobody would ever see or could.
Everybody is waiting for you in the chat, bro. Are you gonna ask your question or what? Holy smokes. We're on a good one tonight, bro. We're on a good start. Should we get a caller? Should we have him call in? You want to call in, bro? I'll take a live caller today, bro. Let's go. You want to call in? You can ask your question live.
Could see a transgender person as a woman.
How about that?
And yet,
you want to call in?
I have dozens of friends from diverse backgrounds. Women from the reservation, a woman from Japan, several immigrant women. I have my coworkers, I have my boss, my VP, my CEO, all respecting me as a woman. My family, my long-term friends who are actually here with me.
Should we show them what a woman looks like?
All of these people assure me, like, I'm a woman. They'll tell me, girl, like, there is no way you are a man. They see me as a woman. So the question.
Okay.
How can you assert that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material...
What a weird question. It says, here's my question. After all that, this is your question. Do you think women should have the same rights as men? Last time I checked, they do.
Real experience tells me you're wrong.
Come on.
Okay. It's interesting that that's the part of my talk you chose to ask a question about because that's not in my talk at all. I don't believe I said that no one would ever see you as a woman. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could fool someone. Now, you brought this up, so I have to tell you that you brought this up. You've put your identity on the table for conversation. And so I'm going to say you wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%. And I think that most people would. Now,
yes, most people do see that person as a man.
The fact that you have people in your life who are saying to you, "Oh, you're totally a woman," it's exactly what I'm talking about. No one in my life has ever once said to me, "You're totally a man, Matt." You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, "Listen, Matt, I want you to know, you're really a man," I would think that there was something wrong with him. I would say, why are you saying that at all? It doesn't make any sense. So the fact that this is a conversation to begin with tells me, it only proves the point that I'm trying to.
I think he in the chat just wants attention, and let's give it to that person, whoever, him, her, they, them. He is saying that men and women don't have the same rights. They do. They do. They do.
To make that your identity, even in your own mind, is up for it's something that you need to be assured of. Now, what I would like to ask you again, because you're standing here, and so you've brought your identity on the table for discussion. So, how do you know that you're a woman?
It was first when I heard transgender persons describe their experience in their own words, and this was only about 2 years ago. Hearing somebody describe things, it was a woman from like England, describing her experience, her childhood, her teenage years. And it blew my mind to be listening to her, because it was just some podcast that I was listening to while I was like doing laundry. But it blew my mind to hear somebody so eloquently and precisely describe things that I had experiences that I had experienced.
What did they say?
Okay, so.
Wow.
I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that transgender women might have in describing their identity, but I want to state, I honestly don't feel that you would engage in this conversation in good faith.
Then why are you here? Why did you stand up to talk to me if you don't want to have a conversation? You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did. That's a very fair question.
Okay.
How do you know that you're a woman?
That's fine. All right. So first of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay, this is a one-off, one person describing these things.
He in the chat just described a gender pay gap is what I believe that they're now going to. That's their next level of their conversation, is there's a pay gap. Do you know why there's a pay gap?
Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Hearing compliments like, you are such an example, like a positive masculine role model. And just hearing that and being like, it feels like they're talking about somebody else. It means feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys, even when you have a lot of friends. And I was active in like Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. I had great masculine role models my whole life. And yet I never felt like I belonged. I felt welcome and included.
Why does that make you?
He in the chat says that women, there's a pay gap because people have biases and they pay women less. Wrong. Try again. I'll let you try again. See if you can figure out why. There's a reason why there's a pay gap, and I could tell you why, but I'm going to see if you can figure it out before I tell you.
You're a woman.
Because
as opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men, or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman, though? And it's interesting. You're telling me that you listen to the experiences of other transgender people.
Well, yeah.
But what about women?
So
trans women are women, you would say, right?
I would say that. Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yes.
Okay, well then why do you need to hear the testimony of quote unquote trans women? Like how you pick any actual woman in this room?
Because
as opposed to just a man in the same category as them.
I know because they tell me. So here was the.
You need them to tell you what you are?
Women. Yes. I trust the opinions of the women around
And
me.
if most women,
it's incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman anymore, would you then relent and say I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
But you are relying on other people to tell you who you are, is what we're establishing.
For context, I know you like to think, I know you like to say, everybody's rah-rahing and supporting transgender people, and yet they're still killing themselves, etc. But I'm standing here in a room full of people applauding you and asking questions like, how can I put out legislation here in New Mexico, my home state I grew up in, to try to reverse transgenderism? I'm not safe. And it
How are you not safe? You just said you're standing in a room with people who disagree with you and you're perfectly fine. So how are you not safe? Okay, look, we're going round and round. You don't want to answer any of the questions. Maybe we'll end with this because we're talking.
Wow, what a display, bro. Wow, I love this.
About womanhood. So people can probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
But you know that you're a woman.
Yes.
What is that?
Damn.
So gender is a social thing. It only makes sense.
I don't want to hear that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women...
Circular definition.
That's mine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Good.
Wow. Wow, bro. Wow. And away we go. Holy cow.
Basically give up.
There is a specific reason why men make more money than women, and you did not give the correct answer, he in the chat. You are wrong. I'll give you another chance to give the correct answer. If you can't figure it out, I'm going to let you know. But I'll give you one more chance.
Because it ain't going to happen.
Only if they're aiming at equality of outcome.
Running the top FTSE 100 companies, dominated by the posting men.
I didn't say they were unhappy dominating men. I said it was a bad long-term solution.
Okay, you said it was making them miserable.
Thing. Yes, it is. And it depends on the time frame. I mean, there's intense pleasure in momentary domination. That's why people do it all the time. But it's no formula for a successful long-term relationship. That's reciprocal, right? Any long-term relationship.
He in the chat says the fact that you have a penis shouldn't give you any more right to identify as a man. Let me ask you this, Here's a question for you. Why are there no women plumbers?
Is reciprocal.
Why do you think there are little to no, very few? Actually, I've never seen one in my lifetime. How come there are very little to none no women plumbers?
Virtually by definition. So
let me put a quote to you from the book, where you say there are whole disciplines in universities forthrightly hostile towards men. These are the areas of study dominated by the...
Why do you think there are historically no women plumbers? Why do you think right now women can be plumbers? Right now. Forget about historically, but also historically. Even right now, though, you have all the rights to be a plumber. There are no men holding women back from being plumbers. Why do you think women are not plumbers?
The postmodern stroke neo-Marxist claim that Western culture in particular is an oppressive structure created by white men to dominate and
because there are men holding women back. That's why.
Exclude women. But then I want to put
minorities
Okay, sure.
Oh my God.
Here in the UK, for example, let's take that as an example. The gender pay gap stands at just over 9%. You've got women at the BBC recently saying that the broadcaster is illegally paying them less than men to do the same job.
They are less likely to hire women because they're biased towards men. Oh my God, bro.
You've got only 7 women running
the top
Aquariums? FTSE 100 companies.
Yeah.
Aquariums, I got to make you a moderator, bro. I forgot, bro. Holy cow. There we go. All right, cool. You're a moderator now, bro. Let's do this.
So it seems to a lot of women that they're still being dominated and excluded.
The reason why there are no women plumbers is because women do not prefer to be plumbers. That's why. It's not a preference they hold.
Quote your words back to you.
It does seem that way, but multivariate analysis of the pay gap indicate that it doesn't exist.
But that's just not true, is it? I mean, that 9% pay gap, that's a gap between median hourly earnings between men and women.
But there's
that exists.
Yeah, but there's multiple reasons for that. One of them is gender, but it's not the only reason. Like if you're a social scientist worth your salt, you never do a univariate analysis. Like you say, well, women in aggregate are paid less than men. Okay, well, then we break it down by age, we break it down by occupation, we break it down by interest, we break it down by personality.
But you're saying basically it doesn't matter if women aren't getting to the top because that's what's skewing that gender pay gap, isn't it? You're saying, well, that's just a fact of life. Women aren't necessarily going to get to the top.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
Women don't prefer to be plumbers. That's why you don't have women plumbers.
Either.
You're saying it's a fact
there are
of
multiple
life.
reasons for it.
Yeah, but those reasons, why should women put up with those reasons? Why should women be content
I'm not
not
saying
to
that
get
they
to the
should
top?
put up with it. I'm saying that the claim that the wage gap between men and women is only due to sex is wrong. And it is wrong. There's no doubt about that. The multivariate analysis have been done. So
Well,
I can give you an example.
keep on talking about multivariate analysis.
Let me give you an example.
I'm saying that 9% pay gap exists.
Yeah.
That's a gap between men and women.
Random says, I lay the pipe around here. That's what
women. I'm not saying why it exists, but it exists. Now,
Yeah, but
if
you
you're
have
a
to say
woman,
why
that
it
seems
exists.
pretty unfair.
You have to say why it exists.
But do you agree that it's unfair? If you're a woman...
Not necessarily.
And on average, you're getting paid 9% less than a man. That's not fair, is it?
It depends on why it's happening. I can give you an example. Okay. There's a personality trait known as agreeableness. Agreeable people are compassionate and polite. And agreeable people get paid less than less agreeable people for the same job. Women are more agreeable than men.
Again, a vast generalization. Some
It's
women
not
are
a
not more
generalization.
agreeable than
Yes,
men.
that's true, but that's right. And some women get paid more than men.
So you were saying that by and large, women are too agreeable to get the pay rises they deserve.
No, I'm saying that that's one component of a multivariate equation that predicts salary. It accounts for maybe 5% of the variance, something like that.
So surely
you
the
need about
answer-
another 20, you need about another 18 factors, one of which is gender. And there is prejudice, there's no doubt about that, but it accounts for a much smaller proportion of the variance in the pay gap than the radical feminists claim.
Okay, so rather than denying the pay gap exists, which is what you did at the beginning of this conversation, shouldn't you say to women, rather than being agreeable and not asking for a pay rise, go and ask for a pay rise? Make yourself disagreeable with your boss.
Oh, definitely, there's that. But I also didn't deny it.
Sad Saf in the chat says, do you not think it's weird at all that you keep working off of vibes instead of science and history? I think is Sad is responding to he, right?
It existed. I denied that it existed because of gender.
Okay.
Because I'm very, very, very careful with my words.
So the pay gap.
World Debt Now says women are crushing it in corporate America. CEO of UPS is a woman. She got the job after being CEO of Home Depot. The Home Depot board gave her millions to just go away. She's then got a better job. And then Ruby Day Draft, women, please, God, No, it's to you, dingus. Oh, to me, what is it? Why would you ask me that question? Okay, so let's go back. Sad Sav is asking me, do you not think it's weird at all that you keep working off of vibes instead of science and history? Actually, no, I'm the one working off of science and history, and feminists are working off of vibes. It's the opposite of what you're saying. So that's why I'm really confused what you're talking about. Science and history tells you that women have a preference. There's statistical facts and everything. Women have preference. Sad Sapphire says, how do you define woman? Don't be afraid to get scientific. We just established that. It's an adult human adult human female with XX chromosomes. We already established that.
Exists. You accept that.
Why are you in La La Land on this?
That's amazing.
But you're saying...
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
I mean, the pay gap between men and women exists. But you're saying it's not because of...
Thank you, Angela.
Gender, it's because women are too agreeable to ask for pay rises. So
it's one of the reasons.
Okay.
Dominic makes another very good distinction between men and women.
Okay, one of the reasons. So why not get them to ask for a pay?
Sad Sap says, you pulled up pics and I've already said there are XX males and XY females. You keep ducking me. I don't duck you, bro. You're in like some La La Land. I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest.
Pay rise.
I've done that. I've done that many times in my career.
And they just
I've counseled. Oh, they do it all the time. You can. So one of the things that you do as a clinical psychologist is
well, this is one of the problems
training. So you might say,
with this left-wing gender ideology is that no one who espouses it. Well, this is one of the problems with this left-wing gender ideology is that no one who espouses it can even tell you what these words mean. Like, what is a woman?
Well,
can you tell me what a woman is?
No, I can't. Because it's not for me to say. Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what does a female mean?
Well,
how do you define a female?
Someone with female reproductive organs.
Okay.
Someone who's, here's the thing, when you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies, we could dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
Interesting. So I'm trying to understand. Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct, is a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? Cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not myself.
You used the word. So what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right. So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
that describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently. And so trans women are women too.
Okay.
And you want to hold on.
Trans women are women. Listen, won't even tell me what the word means, though. So
you
that's
want to
the problem.
reduce women. You want to reduce men down to maybe just their genetics, our genitals, our chromosomes, right? That's what you're saying.
What you want to do is
that's
what you want to do is appropriate women. You want to appropriate womanhood.
Okay.
And turn it into basically a costume that could be worn. We've got it's real funny. It's real funny. It's real funny when you're
should look like. Right. As a man, you're literally saying this is what a woman is.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that a little sexist?
No, it's how this shit works. That's how it works. We can tell you what a dinosaur is. We don't have to be a dinosaur to tell. We can tell you what a puppy is. We don't have to be a puppy to tell you what a puppy is, right?
So
with the fluidity of these things,
I don't know.
How do I know if I'm
that one's hard. I know that's your.
That's a great question.
I like scented candles. And
yeah.
I've watched Sex and the City. With the fluidity of these things, how do I know if I'm a woman?
That's a great question.
I like scented candles. And
yeah.
I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So how do I know?
Yeah, Matt, that question right there, like that question is like when it's asked with a lot of curiosity, right? That's the beginning of a lot of people's like gender identity development journeys.
If my mom who gave birth.
Gender identity development journey. Gender identity development journey. Gender identity development journey. That's not
to me is a woman.
Wow, bro. How do these people's heads not spin with the bullshit they spew?
And my wife is a woman. Though I haven't asked her. Maybe I should. But if they're all women, and also the boy who sits down with you and says, I think I'm a girl, actually is one, then...
Uh-oh, Steve says he likes candles. Steve, this might be your gender identity something journey. I think you're starting your journey, Steve.
Then what is?
It's a slippery slope, bro.
Is a woman.
Yeah. Great question. I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
You're not a woman, so you can't answer that.
I don't care if you think you're a sheepdog and you come into my store. It don't matter to me. Just don't come in and try to shove that shit down my throat.
If it makes someone feel better, what about their feelings?
I don't give a shit about their feelings. I'm old.
What about in the Star Wars universe? Jar Jar Binks, pansexual, do you think? Transgender?
Let's take a look at chat, guys. Holy cow. Mental gymnastics for sure. Sad Saf is still going at it. If you define something poorly, this is Sad Saf saying this in the chat. If you define something poorly, you can't just gloss over your mistakes and insist that you're using common sense. Gloss over your mistakes? Dude, you you need to work on your reasoning. None of your reasoning makes any sense. But it's okay, we'll still entertain you. We're entertaining you. Even though you're kind of entertaining us at this point now. To be honest. It's kind of fun now.
Why would I even care?
If it's his truth universe. Jar Jar Binks, pansexual, do you think? Transgender?
Why would I even care?
If it's his truth.
Well, it ain't true.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major. Or are you?
No.
No? Okay. How do you know that you're a man?
How do I know that I'm a, I guess because I got a dick.
So what is a woman?
Yes.
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
What do you think the answer to that question is?
I like Angela's response in the chat. We didn't discuss this yet, but this is true. Angela says, Sad Saf, you are disrespecting and diminishing the greatness of biological women are by your delusion that a man can be a woman. That's why these so-called feminists are literally, sad to say it, they're very much against women. They're hurting women. Feminists are the ones hurting women.
Well,
us men love them. We're all about our whole. I'll just. Men's whole lives revolve around women. How do we get women and have a family with a woman and raise kids with a woman? We love women. Here, I'll show. Here. Do I have to show you what a woman looks like? We love women. Where are we at? Where are my women, bro? Where are my women at? Holy cow, I got so much. Okay, here we go. You ready? Here's a woman. We love women. It's you feminists that are destroying women. We love women. Look, here's another one. Even though this one works for CNN. Still, here's another one. She is Carolyn. Do you know who that is? How about Anna Paulina Luna? That's a woman. It's you. It's you. Sad Saf. People like you that are destroying it for women. You're saying that I could wake up tomorrow morning and decide and color my hair blue and just say, you know what, man, I guess I'm a woman. Ah, look at that, I'm a woman. Ah, and if I talk like this, maybe if I get good at it, I could be a woman now. I'm a woman. How sad is that, bro? Oh my God.
I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor.
kids these days are being trained that they can, you know, at recess, if you decide you want to change your genders, go ahead.
This is what you do.
I could wake up tomorrow morning and color my hair blue and say I'm a woman. And there it is. Just walk right into your women's bathrooms and let's go. Is that what you want?
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
A lot of like this, where you're not answering, and I've gotten a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people you've interviewed have been reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
Random is now a cyborg, ladies and gentlemen. He decided he's going to be a cyborg, so he's a cyborg.
Yeah. How have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
Hey, you're a black. I want to be a black lesbian too. Can I be a black lesbian?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies, which is the work that I do.
You wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is?
Well, join me now
as a woman.
As a woman. Here we go. This is where Piers Morgan decides he's going to be a black lesbian. Let's go.
Commentator Angelica Mallet, Talk TV's Esther Krakow, and Fox News contributor Tommy Laren. So, Tommy Laren, let me start with you. Two people in Britain today who've been at the forefront of not saying what a woman is. One is Nicola Sturgeon, the ex-First Minister of Scotland, who lost her job because of this ridiculous farce of a rapist self-identifying. She tweeted today, proud on International Women's Day to visit my old University of Glasgow, and banged on about women's rights. This is the woman who just literally lost her job for allowing a male rapist into a female prison.
What's up, boo-boo?
And Sir Keir Starmer, who's leader of the opposition Labour Party here, was talking about protections for women in Parliament today, and yet he refuses to say what a woman is. Where are we with this? How has it come that leaders of parties in countries like the UK, and we see a lot of it in America as well, just won't say what a woman is?
Well, first of all, I have to apologize to you because all of this wokeness originates here in the United States of America, and then we export it to you in the UK.
Yes, you're to blame.
So we started this really...
That's the crazy part, bro. We create it, we export it, and we let you guys deal with it. And then a lot of times we get over it, but other countries still have to deal with it. We're still getting over this whole thing, but let's see what we got to say here.
In America, yes, we are. You know, the wokeness starts here, and then it, of course, moves over, and now you guys have to deal with it. The world has to deal with it. But I say this, I'm proud to celebrate International Women's Day because I know what a woman is. So I would say, if you don't know what a woman is, you don't get to celebrate it. You don't get to pretend to be a feminist when it's helpful to you or helpful to your political narrative. You have to be able to define what a woman is. This is all a farce. They are seeking to erase women, and this is the radical rainbow mafia, as I call it. This is not your average LGBT activist.
Thank you for bringing up the rainbow, because there's another bone I have to pick with this whole LGBTQ community is, why did you guys have to hijack the rainbow? When I was a kid, I loved the rainbow. You know how cool the rainbow was? You know how much I loved rainbow? You know how much I love color? I'm a photographer too. I love color. I love art. I love rainbows. When I was a kid, I loved rainbows. Why did you have to steal our damn rainbows, bro? Now I can't wear a colorful shirt. Now I can't wear I don't know, dude. Like, I can't enjoy a rainbow. Hey, honey, look, there's a rainbow. Don't be a beta. Oh, sorry. Yes, jeez. Come on now.
This is the rainbow mafia section of that radical LGBTQ movement that has made women less than, and then has elevated all of this transgenderism and all of this pick your gender, identify as potato. They have hijacked the women's rights movement, the feminist movement, and actual feminists should be really pissed off about it.
Well, as a feminist, I am.
They hijacked the rainbow. Give us the rainbow back, bro. Guys, how do we take the rainbow back? Can we do like can we have like a a petition or something? Can we do that? I'll build I know how to make websites. I'll do it, bro. I'm not even kidding. Should we do a petition to get the rainbow back?
I recently
I'm not even kidding right now, bro. I'll do it right now.
Interviewed Angelica, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and I asked him this question, which seems to stump many other leaders. Here's the clip. What is a woman? We know that Nicola Sturgeon can't answer that. We know Keir Starmer can't answer that. You're the British Prime Minister. What is a woman?
Yeah, of course.
Tamara and Dominic say yes. You guys are down? You guys are down? If I start something up to do a petition to get the rainbow back, you guys are down? I got to figure out how to do. Who do we even send it to? Do we go to Trump? You think Trump will sign an executive order? Well, I've signed this executive order. We will now, the rainbow is now back to its rightful place with the leprechauns.
I don't know what woman is, adult human female.
It's not difficult, is it, Angelica? I mean, that is what a woman is.
I mean, I don't know why you're obsessed with defining.
Oh my God, bro.
Answer that. We know.
Oh my God. You guys are down, yeah? Hell yeah. We send it to Trump, dude. Dude, Trump has posted one of my reels. Maybe he'll take it from me and actually act on it. Maybe he'll do an executive order if I could do it. We'll give the rainbows back to the leprechauns, back where they can, get those pots of gold, and back where it just becomes another beautiful thing that we all enjoy, dude.
No, Keir Starmer can't answer that. You're the British Prime Minister. What is a woman?
Yeah, of course I know what woman is, adult human female.
It's not difficult, is it, Angelica? I mean, that is what a woman is.
I mean, I don't know why you're obsessed.
This is really good because Pierce here goes, what if I decide I want to be a black lesbian? Watch this.
With defining it, like what is a man? Like, why do we need these arbitrary?
A man is a male adult human. I mean, that's it.
Right. Okay. I don't know that we need
these are just biological facts, but they're just facts. They're not arguable points, are they?
Well, but I think we have a right to self-identify, and you said
as what?
I love how he says it. They're not arguable facts, are they?
As what?
If you'd like to be, I don't know that we need
these are just biological facts, but they're just facts. They're not arguable points, are they?
Well, but
they're not arguable points, are they?
I think we have a right to self-identify, and you said you want to.
As what?
If you'd like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue around.
We've literally just seen a male rapist use that scam to get himself put into a female prison where he could attack vulnerable women inside a female prison, when even his ex-wife said it was all a scam.
Which is a terrible, very distressing.
You see that? And guess who else did that kind of shit? Yeah, the person that was running up against Trump to be president last year, Kamala Harris. The one that just wrote a book blaming everyone else but herself for losing the election. Kamala Harris. She literally is known for two things, one of which she stole from Trump, which is no tax on tips, because she didn't come up with any other policy that anyone can think of. The second thing that she's known for is giving male prisoners sex change operations so they can go into women's prisons.
An isolated incident, and I think it's easy to take that and say that means that no one can identify as a woman, and
but
that's
it's not an isolated incident, though.
But it's
42% of trans-identifying prisoners in prison are in there for sex crimes. There's actually an advantage, evidently, to identifying as a female, because they never identify as male, because somehow male prisons seem less appealing to them. It's really weird. Anyway, but
is it limitless, this self-identity?
It's not totally limitless.
Watch this.
When you're talking about International Women's Day, I don't know why we take the conversation around International Women's Day and make it about this.
But if anyone,
there's so many benefits.
Right, but if anyone, according to you, can identify as a woman, anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with.
Just literally put the hand up and say I'm a woman.
But it's not an easy thing to do, to go out into the world.
That's very easy.
Right. You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say this is who.
Watch this.
Whatever that person decides, but to go out into the world and say, I don't identify as perhaps the sex I was born as.
So why can't I identify? Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, you're
Well, I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I, on International Women's Day, say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd status.
I think that's
talking
what.
about quite a
with
strong
respect, I think that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually, I think what you said ridicules trans people, because actually people who go through the full process of transition, who actually go through what we used to call a sex change, which I don't think you can muck around with original biology, but those who actually go through well, now, as the author and commentator Angelica years, I've got great respect for that very difficult journey they go on. I had zero respect for people who just wallop their hand up and go, suddenly, I'm a woman and I want all the rights that a woman has and I want to compete, say, in sport. I'm a 6'4" athlete, sprinter, swimmer, whatever, who's competed very mediocrely in male sport. I now want to come in and crush women in swimming pools and in sprinting events and break all their records, perhaps irrevocably, just by saying, I'm a woman. I think that is the absurdity you were talking about. My response was to say, well, if it's limitless, why can't I then say whatever I want to say? And you say immediately, as I knew you would, well, that's ridiculous. But my point is, you were being ridiculous.
Well, that's your opinion. You can think I'm ridiculous, but I don't think you can say, well, it has to...
I don't know why I am, but you're not.
I don't think you have to say it's post-op is the only way that someone's allowed to identify as trans.
The original standard
for us to
the original standard for being transgender was being diagnosed with gender dysphoria, which is a legitimate condition. And now it's being, however way you feel. So if you feel on Tuesday you're a woman and on Thursday you're a pizza, that's perfectly valid. But to you, that's ridiculous. And I want to know why that is ridiculous. We should be talking about actual women on International Women's Day. That's not crazy.
I mean, I agree. But your idea of an actual woman...
chromosomes.
It's an adult female. It's not difficult.
I agree with D. She says, in the chat says, I can't believe where men were ever allowed in female sports. 100%.
Chromosomes are a pretty good indication.
I don't think you have to be biologically female to identify
Then
as
you
a
are
woman.
wrong, because then I can identify as a fox.
Yeah.
But again, it's a kind of absurd point.
Let me ask you this, Angelica. How many genders are there?
2.
There are 2 genders.
Oh.
Wow. So you don't believe in transgenders at all?
Well, I think there are...
Whoa, hang on. Whoa. There are 2 genders?
Well, it's taught in...
Well, you say, well, you've literally just launched this huge defence of transgenderism. Now you've eradicated it.
I think there's...
If there are 2 genders, you mean male and female, right?
There's gender fluidity. I will...
Fluid between what?
Between what?
Between different identities, and we can choose different identities.
You see how difficult this is, though?
But it is difficult, but I think making...
Damn, bro, she got cooked, bro. Holy cow, dude. She just got smoked on there, bro. Holy
It's
cow.
not difficult until you make it difficult. You see, the BBC has done teaching videos to 11 and 12-year-olds where they say there are 100 genders. One of them was astrogender, which is an affinity with the stars and the galaxy. My response to that on the last show I did was to say, well, in that case, I identify as a two-spirit penguin. I was then told I was being ridiculous, but I made the same point. The ridiculousness is the BBC teaching kids there are 100 genders. There aren't. It is absurd. Bring back Tommy Lehran, who
Dude, I just saved this clip. I'm going to make a reel out of this.
I imagine is hyperventilating over there in America. Tommy, I mean, look, I don't see why, if it's limitless.
Look at Mark in the chat, bro. Mark in the chat says, I'm gay on Wednesday, straight on Thursday, and a woman if on Friday, man on Saturday, and I'm whatever the F I want in Sunday on my day off.
I can't just say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian, because that is where limitless self-identity takes us. It means that male rapists can say they're women and get into female prisons. It means I can say
Higgy identifies as a frog.
I'm a two-spirit penguin or a black lesbian, and why can't I? Because that is where it takes you.
Well, it certainly does, and I think you just had the perfect argument there. It's impossible to define, and it's impossible to stand up for, because it's a mockery of what actual people are. And furthermore, going back to children, when this happens at a young age, when you start trying to convince kids that they don't know what gender they are, or they're born in the wrong body at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, that's child abuse. All right? Gender affirming care wherein you only tell somebody they can be whatever they want to be regardless of their biology at a young age, that is child abuse. It's happening in the UK, it's happening in the US, and this is making room for groomers to groom young people, to confuse the heck out of them, make them not know what they are so that they can take advantage and exploit them. Now,
Hall Family says, boobs on a man, still a dude. If you ask libs, they'll tell you men breastfeed better than women. Yep. I've been out there, bro. I've been out in the real world. I've run into them. They'll tell you right now, men give birth better than women. It's a hell of a thing.
I want to be very clear here. This is not the mainstream LGBTQ movement. There are a lot of conservatives that even support that movement. This is a radical agenda made by groomers, and they don't want you to call them groomers, which is a perfect example of why they are groomers. This is what we're doing, is to confuse young people, to confuse all people, to make them dumber, make them confused as to what they are. It's a mockery of women's rights. It's a mockery of human rights, and we should no longer be having
and
this
you
discussion.
end up with scandals like the Tavistock Clinic here in London, in the UK, where they were basically mutilating children, young kids, teenagers, mutilating their bodies irrevocably. And then it turned out, after it closed, after a scandalous report came out, that 97% of all the patients had other
fucking Steve, bro,
conditions, from autism to depression to other issues, which may have been affecting their ability to think straight about what they wanted to be. And that was, to me, as a father of 4 kids, utterly horrific, just horrific that this was going on. And anyone who tried to raise concerns about this, and journalists did, were immediately branded transphobic. And Esther, this comes back
D, I didn't know that.
to what we see with, people like J.K. Rowling, I'm no friend of J.K. Rowling. She can't stand me, and I don't like her, right? It's like fire and water. But on this issue, I've not seen a word she said that is transphobic. Yeah. I've just heard her go, I want to support and protect women's rights. For that, she's been unbelievably hounded, abused, attempts to cancel, which fortunately have backfired. But it's all wrong, this, isn't it?
The thing is, and one of the shocking things that she's been attacked for is for drawing attention to domestic violence and violence against women. And that's actually the biggest point here. Other than the fact that, that male rapist was allowed to go into a female prison in Scotland, there's a genuine danger around allowing men into women's spaces, like women's shelters and things like that, and they can be there just by identifying as a woman and then identifying as a tree the next day.
Right, so Angelica, do you understand that part of the argument?
I understand that kind of the argument, but I mean, like Tommy said, I don't think this is confusing for children. I think it's giving you freedom of expression and freedom of choice.
But how many girls did you know? Like my wife was a bit of a tomboy when she was young, right? How many kids do you know, young girls in particular, who are tomboys? But if the wrong person gets hold of them and persuades them, actually, what you should start doing is mutilating your body and have a full attempt to become a boy, that's not what most tomboys end up wanting. They end up actually going through puberty, getting older, and then that's it. They become women, right? But if you get hold of these impressionable young minds too early, when they're just clowning around being tomboys, that's the danger to me.
I don't think the messaging is as extreme as you think it is, and I think we
Tavistock Clinic was pretty extreme.
I think we whip ourselves into a frenzy thinking these things, and this language that you mentioned at the start of the show, I don't think you hear that language used that often in like everyday speech.
Which language?
And I think what you were saying.
Oh no, these are on NHS websites. No, this is where you're wrong. This is actually NHS websites in many cases. They genuinely call women chest feeders, birthing partners. They dare not say anything gender specific to women in case some trans people don't like it. To which I say, where are the rights of women to be called what they want to be called? Why does all language have to be degendered for a tiny minority of people?
I think the problem is there's so much fear around having these kind of conversations and saying the wrong thing, getting it wrong. That means that people can't have conversations that feel kind of progressive about what is gender identity, what does the future look like, how do we create a compassionate space? So I think to your question at the start, like what is women and why politicians wouldn't answer it, they're so scared of getting it wrong. And
well,
I think
people are scared because the mob come for them.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the mob needs to just go away and shut up. Anyway, I think scrap International Women's Day until we can all agree what a woman is.
No, I'm sorry. I think there's so many benefits to having International Women's Day. It'd be a real shame to do that.
Well, if you had your way, everyone would celebrate it by identifying as a woman, even if they weren't.
well, being a woman.
Happy International Women's Day. I am a woman.
Wow.
About this whole conversation.
What?
Yeah.
So what is a man?
Accept that?
Hold on. The thing that made a lesbian is that a female has sex with another lesbian female.
Sexual. Kick the chair when they do. That goes for Joel and that other boyfriend.
No, he's not, Jeff.
Word.
Person. No, a feminine man is a weak man because he's a woman. He's a beta. No, he's not, Jesse. Yeah, he's a beta. No, he's not. He is a beta.
I can't believe I'm being bullied right now on live on.
But I find hope in this resolution today.
Dude, that's your line. And I think that's hard to say, man.
So what is a woman?
Dude, I don't know. That one's hard. I know that's your line. And I think that's hard to say, man. I don't know.
But
what do you think is a woman?
Well, a woman is an adult female with XX chromosomes. It's not difficult, right? It's
I
always been that way.
disagree. I don't think so.
But if you did.
Oh yeah, I'm taking callers. I'm gonna take callers if you guys are down. I'll put you on live right now. I'll give you a platform. You can talk. You can speak your mind. Have people hear you.
Disagree. Why? But then what is your alternative?
Oh, I don't know.
So you disagree without an alternative?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think that's a fair thing to say.
But you disagree, but you must have some opinion. What is your opinion of what a woman is?
I really don't know. I think it's a gender. I think it's a gender more than a sex. I think sex is female, and then woman is like gender. Yeah. That's what I would say.
A civilization that can't define very basic biological terms and stay close to them is a civilization in moral chaos.
I disagree heavily, and I originally wanted to come up here and maybe troll, but I actually have a genuine question for you. Why is it that you are in strong support of religious values being instilled as American values?
By what standard do you think we should live by?
Standard in the country?
Just as humanity, what should we say is good or evil, and where should we get that from?
I think that we should have a set amount of values that come from what we as a society kind of create, and that can be contributed by a mix of different religions and perspectives and opinions.
Yes, Mr. Rogers did, Tuft. Joshua.
Which is why I disagree with the instillment of a specific religion.
Christianity, as we know it, is the greatest moral ethic. And these are things you agree with. Love the stranger, help others, have justice.
Love thy neighbor.
Yeah, love thy neighbor as yourself, like Leviticus 19, right? These are beautiful teachings. In fact, they're so beautiful that you think that they're common, when in reality the rest of the world doesn't always have them. Even freedom of speech and natural rights and charity to the lesser, these are all Christian values. The most important book in my life, of which all truth stems from, is the Bible. Correct. What is your most important book?
The Right-Wing Revolution by Charlie Kirk.
Without the troll, though, but it's important because at some point you have to appeal to something. You have to have a rule book. Every species, all human beings need a rule book for life. We tell you what our rule book is. I know it's like putting you on the spot, but think about it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a rule book, you're lying to yourself. Everybody has a rule book you live by. You just got to tell us what it is.
Fair enough.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank you, man. Think about that, okay?
I am Poppy. I'm an ex-sex worker. She, her pronouns. I think that the system for trans people to get hormonal therapy is pretty messed up because there's a lot of people who lie their way through therapy and then they end up regretting it in the future.
Can we agree and have common ground maybe that minors should not be able to receive those drugs?
I think hormonal blockers should be legal no matter what. Hormonal therapy, I think it's much more debatable.
My position is that we should not give children something when they might be in a phase that could be irreversibly damaging to them.
Damn, Charlie is super sick right there.
And if a kid is in a certain phase, especially a young lady, because 75% of all trans youth that receive hormonal therapy are young women, that we should
What up, Papa?
probably say, hey, this is more of a brain issue than a body issue, and let's try to do counseling, let's try to do cognitive behavioral therapy, not try to say that we're going to butcher you irreversibly. Thank you, Poppy.
Just to clarify, I'm not a very big fan. Do you think that this platform or this discussion of politics in this way is useful? Because just coming from it, you are a professional, that this is your job, you walk around doing this, and so you just have more facts readily available that aren't necessarily verifiable. So it's kind of hard to argue a point, whether it's right or wrong, and whether or not you have the equipment to do so if you just automatically have points that we can't really verify.
You guys are welcome to bring phones or notes or phone a friend.
Well, yeah, but
you could bring a professor too.
That's a good point.
No, go bring a professor. Bring two. Bring the whole. I'll debate them all.
Okay.
No, go find a professor, bring them down, and let's debate whatever you want.
Okay.
I do think this is effective. Look at the crowd we've already assembled.
Right.
And I think that free speech is a bedrock of American society, and to be able to pursue truth and find out where we agree or disagree or have my assumptions challenged. On this campus, especially, it is a predominantly homogenous left-wing campus, especially amongst the professors, and to have a conservative be able to sit here and take adversarial questions, I think it also gives confidence to other conservatives here on campus to speak up when they might hear something they disagree about, or give them conviction to maybe say, hey, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
And so I think that has a lot of value. All right, we are here in London.
Folks, let me tell you about my good friend Todd.
But I find hope in this resolution today. It brings with it justice. It brings with it an opportunity for us to lift up one another, men and women. For if one of us is not equal in the eyes of the law, none of us are truly free. The time has passed to ponder and to pontificate. The time to act is now. With this federal resolution, we have the power to restore the dream of freedom and of equality under the law, to make it a shared destiny for all. In closing, the words
low-key, I agree.
of Lyndon B. Johnson, we have talked long enough in this country about equal rights.
But honestly, you're saying they throw the blame everywhere else. I think they throw the blame everywhere else on anything. They don't know how to take responsibility for anything. They have grown up in this whole world of how do we make the whole world responsible, where we're just like this and the whole world should mold to us and it's responsible. We're not responsible.
100 years or more.
It's everyone else's fault but ours. That's the world these wackos are part of. That's their ideology. It's everyone else's fault but theirs.
It is time to write the next chapter, and time to write it in the books of law.
I urge you to vote no.
What is this, bro? What am I doing with this thing?
Nettleton from the Voice of the...
Hello, Mr. Kirk. My name is Chance, and I apologize if one of these has been covered before. It was a little hard to hear. Oh, thank you. So I wanted to know either your thoughts on masculinity and the definition of that, or religious, using religion as...
I do agree with you. Charlie was a unique situation. I posted a lot about it. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see there's a lot there that you can go through. I cried my eyes out for the. I don't even remember. I don't think I've ever cried as much as I cried when he died, to be honest with you. And I actually posted it only because I couldn't stop crying. I tried to stop crying 3 or 4 times in order to make the video, but I just couldn't. And so I just made it anyway, and I posted it.
The objective morality.
Which one would you like me to
whatever
tackle?
hasn't been covered as much.
Yeah,
Whatever you think.
what it means to be a man hasn't been covered.
Okay, yeah,
right?
let's talk about
to be a man is to have self-control over your fleshly desires and an attitude towards courage and defending those
Right
that
on,
can't
Mac.
defend themselves, fostering a family towards godly purposes, and picking the fights that the rest of society should not be involved in. That's what men should do.
Understood. So with the godly purposes, do you believe that if a person is not religious, that they are less of a man because of it?
No, I don't. But
Okay.
I do say, though, by what standard do we say them good or not so good? So if someone is not religious, that's going to be an internal problem that they'll have to figure out.
Understood.
However, if someone is not religious, we have to look at how they act and how they raise their kids. By what standard? We view that through a Western Christian ethic.
Yep.
And so through the Western Christian ethic, we judge what is a good man and what is not a good man. And the Bible is full of great men and not so great men, right? And even the great men of the Bible made a lot of mistakes, right? The great man of Moses killed somebody.
Same with me,
the great
Mark
man
Topping.
of Abraham sold his wife basically into slavery in Egypt. But they also did a lot of good. The best story for young men right now is Genesis 12 of the Bible, which is basically like get off your tail, leave your father's home, and go on an adventure for God's purpose. And of course, all throughout the scriptures, men in particular are called at this time, and it's the Hebrew word hineni, which means here I am, which is God will call you to a place out of comfort and into duty. We see that with the calling of Isaiah, the calling of Samuel. We see that with Moses. We see that.
Here's my Instagram, and I'll show you just a couple of things here. What am I at? I'm at 75K so far. Not bad. Moving along here. Holy cow. Charlie Kirk, where are you, buddy? Where are you? Where are you? Right here. Because you Charlie Kirk is dead because you Democrat morons are running around being idiots, completely unchecked. And notice I don't say radical left or left-wing lunatics because this is now the mainstream left. We're obviously not doing a good enough job of letting you know when you're acting like a complete moron. And we're going to do a lot more of that. And this all started, if it's not obvious, I was just crying in this before the video. When we started not calling out people when they're fat because, oh, don't hurt their feelings. Let them be how they want to be. And it went from that all the way to this. Oh no, this guy is just acting a little crazy. Let everyone be how they are. And we're at a point where you're the actual fascist, yet you're calling other people fascist when you're the one that's actually shutting down freedom of speech. Someone says something you don't like, and you guys go crazy, you lose your minds, you use violence to shut people down. Now that Charlie Kirk is dead, the gloves are off. And I'm not talking about using violence. I'm going to use my words. I'm going to call you out when I see the bullshit. When I see you do moronic, idiotic shit, I'm going to call it out. If I'm out and about and I see you acting like a moron, I'm going to call you out. For too long, we're saying, oh, it's okay, let people be how they want, as long as it doesn't affect us, as long as they don't come into our bathrooms, or as long as they don't go into our kids' bathrooms and do something in front of them. But no, now it's affecting us. Charlie Kirk is literally dead because of this. Because we let this go too far. Because you're going too far unchecked. So be prepared. Oh, shit. Because from here on out, you're going to hear it. Charlie Kirk is dead because you Democrat morons are running around being idiots, completely unchecked. That was my video after I was done crying my eyes out. I maybe I'll only play a little bit of it, but here we go. Charlie Kirk is no longer with us, and I'm gonna try not to cry again. Wow. I can't believe they did him like that. I can't believe they shot and killed Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry they did that to you, bro. I'm sorry they did that to you, bro. Damn, I can't do it. I can't do that. Yeah. Play this video next time someone tells you it's both sides.
The Lee Zeldin stabbing attempt, left wing or right wing? Left wing. The Covenant school shooting in Nashville, left wing or right wing? Left wing. The Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt on President Trump, left wing or right wing? Left wing. Burn down cities during the Summer of Love in the George Floyd riots, left wing violence or right wing violence? Left wing. The Waukesha Christmas Parade massacre, left wing or right wing violence? Left wing. The Trump International West Palm Beach assassination attempt, left wing.
Sorry guys, I'm just looking at the chat and I appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you guys liked that video, dude. Thank you. I'm just going through this. Thank you, Frankie. Yep, Wu-Tan. Joshua, Mark, yep. Scott, thank you guys. Tamara. Yeah, dude. Mac.
The Abundant Life Christian School
Random.
shooting, left wing. The United Care CEO's murder, left wing. Tesla's burned, keyed, damaged, firebomb, left wing, left wing. The murders at the Israeli embassy, left wing. The ICE facilities firebombed, left wing. The Minnesota Catholic school shooting, left wing. The anti-white Charlotte and North Carolina stabbing, left wing. The attempted Utah News State firebombing, left wing. And now, of course, the culmination of this vile trend, a left-wing assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I would point out, we've heard years of the left, their loudest voices calling anyone on the right extremist MAGA Republicans, fascists, Nazis, an existential threat to democracy. Check yourself. And don't give me this both sides bullshit.
Play.
When did your life become worthy of protection?
When I became actually conscious and able to speak.
So like, able to speak, so like 2 years old.
I think I was a bit earlier than that, yeah.
No, babies usually don't speak till about year and a half. So if I arrested you at 6 months, that's okay?
Yes.
And you're a bio student at UC Riverside?
Yes. Okay, so
let me ask you a question. Would you save 100 dogs' lives or 1 human life?
So I would save 1 dog over your life, but...
No, tell me why a human... and we'll close with this. The fact that he's a bio student at this university shows the horrifying moral rot happening in higher education, and Trump should defund all these schools as evidence. Thank you very much. And when did your...
Crazy. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for the show tonight. We ended it on a little bit of a, Charlie Kirky kind of a moment, and we're all in our feelings a little bit. Let's do one last video of Jesse Lee Peterson. My video here, if you can see it, it's hit 1.7 million views. I posted this last week, so not too bad. It's like 7 days or so. I'm gonna play this and call it a night, guys. Here we go. You ready? This video right here. If you look, it's at 1.7 million. Not bad. Not bad.
So you're gay?
I'm gay.
I didn't know you were gay.
Yeah, well, I just told you.
How did you become gay?
One doesn't become gay. One is born that way.
And so, have you been with men?
Of course.
Like sexually?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's mind-blowing.
This is mind-blowing for you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I never expected a priest and a father of Epiphany Church to be gay.
That you sounds like you're coming from the assumption. What's look gay mean?
You know, switchy and soft looking.
Really? That's what you call stereotyping.
Oh, but
that's called. That's like if I were to say to you, "Well, you're black. Where's your fried chicken?"
I was at the house and I can't wait to get home to eat it. So you're gay?
I'm gay.
I didn't know you were gay.
Yeah.
It's right here where he goes, really? And I saved that to my soundboard.
Really? Really?
Listen right here.
Told you.
How did you become gay?
One doesn't become gay.
Right
One is born that way.
And so, have you been with men?
Of course.
Right here.
Like sexually?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Really? Really?
Really?
Really? What the? That's amazing. That's amazing.
Guys, remember, don't be a beta male.
Beta male. Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Be an alpha male, not a beta male.
Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Love you guys. Thank you. Have a good night. I'm going to see you in the morning. I'll be on tomorrow morning. Hell yeah. Love you guys. Wu-Tan and Papa and Trinity, Mark, World Debt, Random, Aquariums and State Line if you're still in there, and everyone else, and Loki and the whole crew, guy, all you guys do. World Debt, Tamara, hell yeah, love you guys, thank you. That was fun. That was a good little ride, dude. All right, and I'm gonna click this, and I will see you guys. Have a good night, Trinity, everybody. See you. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye bye.